Hello there, welcome. Hope you're having a great day today. We are talking about 1 Samuel chapter 23 today. And in today's chapter, I wanted to start by reading the first two verses. It says, "One day news came to David that the Philistines were at Keilah stealing grain from the threshing floors. David asked the Lord, 'Should I go and attack them?' 'Yes, go and save Keilah,' the Lord told him." Well, David's men were afraid of pursuing and attacking the Philistines, but God told them to still go and that he would help them conquer the Philistines. They were they were still worried, but they did what God instructed, and they were successful in fighting with the Philistines in this battle. Saul finds out where David is. We know that King Saul is still angry with David. He finds out where David is and begins to pursue him. He plans an attack, and David asks for guidance from God about how Saul is pursuing him, and will he actually be betrayed? Will David be betrayed? God tells him that he will be pursued and that he will be betrayed, but God will be with him. And God is with him. Later on, when Saul is pursuing David, if you remember, Saul's son Jonathan is friends with David. And he actually comes and encourages. He finds David, comes and encourages him to remain strong in his faith in God. And he gives him the message that he knows that he will, in fact, be the king of Israel, and Jonathan will be right there by his side when this happens. Saul gets some tips about where David is and takes this as a sign that things are going to work out. But we can see throughout the rest of the chapter, Saul is continuing to pursue David. He's pursuing him, and that's kind of how the chapter ends. They're on opposite sides of the mountain at that point, and my dogs are on the opposite side of the house barking, but they're on opposite sides of the mountain at that point, and Saul is still pursuing David. Footnote I want to share with you today comes from verse 7. "When Saul heard that David was trapped in a walled town with gates and bars, he thought God was putting David at his mercy. Saul wanted to kill David so badly that he would have interpreted any sign as God's approval to move ahead with his plan. Had Saul known God better, he would have known what God wanted and would not have misread the situation as God's approval for murder." Not every opportunity is sent from God. We may want something so much that we assume any opportunity to obtain it is of divine origin. As we see from Saul's case, however, this may not be true. An opportunity to do something against God's will can never be from God, because God does not tempt us. When opportunities come your way, double check your motives. Make sure you are following God's desires and not just your own. Thank you guys so much for watching today. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see you next time.